Ladies and gentlemen, please, a very warm welcome for Mr. Tom Waits.
I'm going to do about a 1954 black four-door sedan coupe de ville with no wipers, driving in the rain from San Diego, Los Angeles. I always had these old hunk of shits that I paid like $125 for them, and sunk about $3,500 into it, sold them for $12. And I never could win with those old suckers, but they seem to have some kind of personality and had the power to fix themselves. But this is one that had no wipers. That's the most recent car I've got, actually. This is a 54 Cadillac. And I got a 65 Thunderbird parked out in front of my house that I'm using as an office right now, up on blocks. I got a 56 Mercury in the backyard. I uses a planting geraniums in it. But this is about driving in the rain. Even got Echoplex, isn't it?
Well, I got diamonds on my windshield, these tears from heaven. And right now I'm pulling into town on the interstate, talking about a steel train in the rain. And the wind bites my cheek through the wing as he's late, nice and freeway flying. It always makes me sing. I got a duster's trying to change my tune. He's pulling up fast from the right. Ain't rolling restlessly by a 24-hour moon. I got a Wisconsin hiker with a cue ball head, and he's wishing he's home in a Wisconsin bed, but there's 15 feet of snow in the east. It's colder than a well digger's ass. I said it's colder than a ticket taker's smile. I said it's cold enough to freeze the balls right off a brass monkey. I said it's colder than a gut-sucking bitch wolf dog with 9 sucking pups pulling a number 4 trap up a hill in the dead of winter in the middle of a snowstorm with a mouthful of porcupine quills. And now it's Oceanside, it's the end of the ride. You got San Clemente's coming up. And them Sunday desperados slip by cruise with a dryback. Got an orange driving and a neon building. That theater's filling to the brim. Talking about slave girls and hot spur, bucket full of sin. And now that metropolitan area, all them interchanging connections. And fly-by-nights from Riverside to outer state plates run a little late. Now the sailors are jockeying for the fast lane. 101, don't miss it. I got rolling hills and concrete fields, that broken lines in your mind. I got the 8s going east and the 5s going north and the merge and exits are back and forth and the senior sign, crossing the line, signal with a blink. Now that radio's gone off the air, it's only giving you time to think. And you're hearing the rumble as you're fumbling for a cigarette. Go on, blaze on through that midnight jungle. Remember someone you can't forget. One more block, that engine's talking, whispering a home at last. Look here, Jack, one more block, that engine's talking, whispering a home at last, 'cause I got diamonds on my windshield, and them tears from heaven. And right now, I'm pulling it down on the interstate, talking about a steel train in the rain. And the wind bites my cheek through the wing, it's late, nice, and freeway flying, it always makes me sing. Look here, Jack, late, nice, and freeway flying, it always makes me sing. I said it's late, nice, and freeway flying, it always makes me sing. Yeah.
Hey.
I'm sitting on the windowsill and I'm blowing my horn. Nobody's up except the moon and me. And the lazy old tomcat is on a midnight spree. All that you left me was a melody. Rosie, why do you evade me? Rosie, how can I persuade thee? Rosie. got tipped in an indigo sky. I've been loving you, Rosie, since the day I was born. I'm gonna love you, Rosie, till the day that I die. Rosie, why do you evade me? Rosie, how can I persuade thee? Rosie, sitting on the windowsill. Right now I'm blowing my horn. Nobody's up except the moon and me, and a lazy old tomcat on a midnight spree. All that you left me was a melody. Rosie, why do you evade? Rosie, how can I persuade thee? Rosie, Rosie. Lonesome old town, set them up, we've been knocking them down. You wear a dress, baby, I'll wear a tie. We'll laugh at that old bloodshot moon in that burgundy sky. All our scribbled love dreams are lost or thrown away. Here amidst the shuffle of an overflowing day. Love needs a transfusion, let's shoot it full of wine. Fishing for a good time starts with throwing in the line. So let's put a new coat of paint on the lonesome old town. Set 'em up with it, knocking 'em down. You wear a dress, baby, I wear a tie. We'll laugh at that old bloodshot moon on that burgundy sky.
Tell you that story. I see. I took notes. This is fresh. I mean, it's so fresh. It's still wet. It's really happened. So I used to fancy myself as a pretty decent pool player. Quarter tables. I played a lot of quarter tables. You know, I play a couple. I play a little 9-ball, play some straight pool, but I always fashioned myself as a good, strong 8-ball player. And until I met up with this broad one night. So begins the legend of the. Sal was just. She rearranged my entire face for me on the pool table. Oh, you see, I was bragging on my pool game down in
pickwick tables, and I was there with this Beverly Hills dame, and she's all draped and drooping with minks and foxes and sables. And well, I had a wealth of adjectives and jargon as to describe the sheer awesome beauty of my stroke. When she tilted about her countenance, revealing the smooth nape of her neck, donning a diamond tiara, and said in a gruff tone, "Look, Jack, what do you say we shoot a game?" Well, we flipped. I lost. She winked, then broke. An innocent game of 9-ball. Innocent game of 9-ball, I chuckled. What a joke. While musing to myself that I could beat any dame in any game, I could snooker her if I was blindfolded on a plane on my way to Pittsburgh, for holy Christ's sake. But I will relate now that she proceeded to prepare a meal consisting of a gourmet spread, 3 courses, dessert, cooked my goose, did a Chef Boyardee. I was about to say, concerning my pool speed, she stretched out like a Siamese across a cool green felt, long tawny fingers in a provocative golden gate. Hummed a little tune to herself as she proceeded to knock 5 straight tables of 9-ball on me with a lucky strike dangling from her lips, squinting through the smoke screen, calling 3-ball combination shots, full table rail shots, squeeze plays, triple shots. I gawked. She tucked those balls in, scolding them with her stick, asking them to please leave the table. 1 in the corner, 2 on a tray split, respective sides, double bank shot on the quad, 5-ball, 6, up to your tricks, go to your room, please take a powder and take the 7-ball with you, 8-ball, disappear. She struck sheer fear into the heart of my buzz, making a beeline for the corner with bells on, you see. Crowd had begun to gather now around the scene. Well, I'd kind of dropped back out of line, heard her ordering up 2 double shots of J&B, water back as I snuck out the back door. Now, gentlemen, the moral is plain. The moral is plain. Now, don't be dragging on yourself now around women who could possibly rearrange your entire personality on the table. The moral I tripped on and gawked at this lesson: make sure that you get seriously hip to primarily who it is that you are messing with. Now, before I leave, in regards to this type of behavior, a word to the wise could be your savior. Now, I've known a lot of broads, and I've known a lot of dames, and I've met a lot of ladies with a lot of different names. Now, before you go saying you're the clam in the chowder, get a brake job on your mouth before you go bull roaring any louder. That's it. This is kind of a matrimonial sort of pomp and circumstance number. Everybody I know got married. And it kind of leaves you out in the cold. So this is a song I've been dying to sing at somebody's wedding. It's called Better Off Without a Wife. I see all my friends are married, every Tom and Dick and Harry. You must be strong if you're to go it alone. Here's to the bachelors and the Bowery bums and those who feel that they're the ones that are better off without a wife. I like to sleep until the crack of noon, at midnight howling at the moon. I go out when I want, should I come home when I please? I don't have to ask permission if I want to go out fishing, and I never have to ask for the keys. I never been no Valentino, but I had a girl and she lived in Reno. Well, she went and left before a trumpet player didn't get me down. He's wanted for assault, and though it said it weren't his fault, you know, the coppers rode him right out of town. I like to sleep until the crack of noon, at midnight I'm howling at the moon. I'm going out when I wanna, I come home when I please, and I don't have to ask permission if I wanna go out fishing, and I never have to ask for the keys.
selfish about my privacy as long as I can be with me. Well, you know, we get along so well, I can't even believe it. Now I love to chew the fat with folks. I'll be listening to them dirty jokes. I'm thankful for these friends I do receive. Now I can sleep until the crack of noon, midnight howling at the moon. Go out when I want. Should I come home when I please? And I don't have to ask permission if I want to go out fishing. And I never have to ask for the key. This is kind of a Naugahyde version of a truck driving song. And it always struck me that truck driving songs always ended up in cowboy bars. And this is kind of something that was tailor-made for a Vic Damone or somebody like... this is a song about a truck driver's wife. She sits home on these long Thursday afternoons, and she's got herself a can of Olympia, and she's got her feet propped up on a nice Formica coffee table. There's a little bit of smoke filtering up through the blinds and the dust particles coming through from her Newport. And she's watching Days of Our Lives and How to Save a Marriage. And as the world turns, and she's waiting for her Peterbilt to arrive. Appropriately titled Semi-Sweet. Well, you know you hate those diesels rolling and those Friday nights out bowling when it's off for a 12-hour lay overnight. And you wish you had $1 for every time it hollers. Leaving and he's never coming back. But the curtainless will billow and his head's on your pillow, and his trousers are hanging on the chair. But you lying through your pain, though you tell him he's your man. You know you ain't got the courage to leave. He tells you that you're on his mind. You're the only one he's ever gonna find. Is kind of special, understands his complicated soul. But the only place a man can breathe and collect his thoughts, you know it's midnight as you're flying away on the road. Packed and unpacked so many times you lost track. Now the steam heat is dripping off the wall. But when you hear his engines, you're looking through the window in the kitchen, babe. And you know you're always gonna be there when he calls. 'Cause he's a truck driving man, stopping when he can. He's a truck driving man, stopping when he can. Wow. I was a traveling salesman for quite a while. I sold Encyclopedia Britannicas out of St. Louis, and I used to have an old powder blue Fairlane. I used to go back on those wet, slick Anaconda of a 2-lane. And I was coming around one night late. It was on a wet, slick, muddy road. And I'd been musically constipated for quite a while, and this is just the kind of magnesia that I needed. And I'm doing some serious highballing around this hairpin turn. What did I meet? Big, bright lights, a big sucker of a Peterbilt. And I didn't argue with Peterbilt. So I went down this wet, muddy ravine, and I was pinned underneath my Fairlane for several hours. But I managed to work my way free and get up on this 2-lane. I looked way down, and I thought what I saw was a farmhouse, bright light burning, and being a traveling salesman and everything. So I crawled on my belly like a serpent. I made it down up on the first step, second step, made it up on the third step. And the only thing working real proper was my head, so I just banged on the door. This old farmer come to the door, had one of them Coleman lanterns, and looked down at me and said, "Ma, you are in raggedy physical condition this evening." I said, "Well, I'm with Encyclopedia Britannica. You know how we are. And I've been pinned under my Fairlane." Well, to make a long story short, to make a short story long, I finally got out of there. He didn't have a daughter, so I made it on down to the next farmhouse, and so this was a foggy night. It was a foggy night, an abandoned road in a blurred brocade collage. Is that what you might call some kind of a indication of a service station? There's no vacancy lodge, 'cause it was a foggy night and an abandoned road in what you might call some kind of a blurred brocade collage. Is that a road motel? I can't really tell. Is that a vacancy lodge? 'Cause there's no consolation. What kind of a situation to be aimlessly askew amidst the powder blue with no telltale light clue, spun like a spell you spin. Some kind of a precarious pandemonium all on a foggy night. All upon 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 a foggy night. And wouldn't you say it's just like some kind of sweepstakes ticket or a Broadway arcade? Heads you win, tails I lose. I'm rambling, I'm gambling, all upon a foggy night. 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 about one of those nights when you got a lot of money and a girl. They're both burning a hole in your pocket. Go down and get a couple bottles of Vicks Formula 44. Or, you know, it's always divided into two schools. There's Robitussin school, Vicks Formula 44 cash. And they had Nyquil was new then. And so do not operate machinery while taking this product. It was about Saturday night. Hey, gas her up behind the wheel. Now you got your arm around your sweet one, your Oldsmobile. Battling down the boulevard, looking for the heart of Saturday night. You got paid on Friday, pockets jingling, and then you see the lights. You get all tingling, you're cruising with a 6. Now you're looking for the heart of Saturday night. And then they comb your hair and shave your face. You're trying to wipe out every trace of all the other days in the week. And this'll be the Saturday. You're reaching your peak and you're stomping on the red. And you're going on the green. Now tonight'll be like nothing bad as you ever seen. You're barreling down the boulevard, you're looking for the heart of Saturday night. Is it the crack of the pool balls, the neon buzzing, or the telephone ringing at your second cousin, or the barmaid that's smiling in the corner of her eye? Magic or the melancholy tear in your eye makes it kind of special. It's down in the core. Now you're dreaming of them Saturdays that came before. Now you're stumbling. You bet you're stumbling onto the hard Saturday night. Gas rub you behind the wheel with your arm around your sweet one in your Oldsmobile. Barreling down the boulevard as you're looking for the heart of Saturday night. Tell me, is it the crack of the pool ball, or that neon buzzing, or the telephone ringing at your second cousin? The barmaid, she's smiling from the corner of her eye. Is it the magic or the melancholy tear in your eye? It makes it kind of special. It's down in the core. Now you're dreaming of them Saturdays that came before. Now you're stumbling, stumbling on the hard Saturday night. You're stumbling, stumbling on the hard Saturday night.
Tom Waits, live from Lee Furr's studio in Tucson. We'll be back in a moment after these words. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Tom Waits.
This is about Denver, Colorado. A little piece of metropolitan double talk about a corner called 17th and Rosie, right across the street from the Oxford Hotel, catty corner from the Terminal Bar. It's also about a block away from the train station. They had no idea, I guess, when they built the terminal bar that it would be another 20 years later, be chock full of terminal cases. But this is called Easy Street. Cause there's a blur drizzle down the plate glass as a neon swizzle stick is stirring up a sultry night air. And a yellow biscuit of a buttery cue ball moon is rolling maverick across an obsidian sky. And the buses are groaning and they're wheezing down on the corner. I'm freezing on Restless Boulevard, Midnight Road. Cross town from Easy Street with tight knots of moviegoers and out-of-towners, and they're on the stroll with the buildings lit, towering high above like dominoes or black dice. You know, all the used car salesmen dressed up in their Purina checkerboard slacks and their Foster Grant wraparounds are pacing in front of that rainbow Earl Scheib $39.95 merchandise like markers at a shooting gallery. Dressed up in jacket-striped jackets with the blue denim dye, throwing out some kind of a Texas gleaning routine. They say, "Hello, sucker. We like your money just as well as anybody else's." And all the harlequin sailors on the stroll in search of like new paint and AM/FM dreams. All up his yellow gypsy cabs are stacked up in the taxi zones, and they're waiting like pinball machines to take off a joyride to some kind of a magical place. Oh yeah, stacked up, just looking like truckers' welcome diners with dirt lots of Peterbilts and Kenworths and Jimmys and the like, doing some serious highballing with bankrupt brakes. Overdriven, underpaid, underfed, a day late, $1 short, and I'm on a corner. I'm on a corner like a just got in town Jasper on a street corner with a gasper looking for some kind of a Cheshire billboard grin, stroking a goatee chin, using parking meters as walking sticks. I'm on the inebriated stroll here. Eyelids propped open at half-mast, and over at Chubb's Pool and Snooker it was a nickel after 2. It was a nickel after 2 in a cobalt steel blue dream smoke. The radio groaned out the hit parade, and the chalk squeaked and the floorboards creaked, and an Olympia sign winked through a torn yellow shade. Jack Chance himself was seriously leaning up against the Wurlitzer, eyeballing out a 5-ball combination shot. Impossible, you say? And I'm leaning up against the Wurlitzer, elbow to elbow with none other than Jack Chance himself, and I'm looking for some kind of an emotional investment. An emotional investment with romantic dividends. As the sun come crawling yellow out of a manhole at the foot of 23rd Street, and a Dracula moon is making its way back to its prepaid room at the St. Moritz Hotel. And you know, the thunder nail across the trestles on Belmont sounding like the ghost of Gene Krupa with overhead cam, glass packs, fuel injected. And I'm held over for another smashed weekend.
night it left me fumbling with the blues. It's hard to win when you always lose. Because the night spots spend your spirit, beat your head against the wall. You got two dead ends and you still got to choose. Well, you know, bartenders all know my name. And they catch me when they're pulling up lane. Now I'm a pool shooting shimmy shots to shaking my head when I should be living clean instead. You know, ladies I've been seeing off and on. Spend your love and then they're gone. Can't be loving someone who's selfish and cruel and take your love. Live on out of town, you know the Jew. Falling in love is such a breeze. Standing up is so hard for me. I wanna squeeze your butt, I'm scared to death to break your back, and you know your perfume. And stiletto won't let me be. Come, baby, let your love light shine. Bury me inside of your fire. Eyes enough to blind me, you're like looking at the sun. You gotta whisper, tell me I'm a one. Whisper, tell me I'm a one. Whisper, tell me I'm a one. Gotta whisper, tell me I'm a one. Whisper, tell me I'm a one.
So I got up to crack of dawn today. I got up about 6:30 this morning. Got up, took a look at the clock, stuffed up the crack, and went back to bed. But staying down in Phoenix, this place called Motel 6. So I always book you into these places that like these. Well, so I got booked in a Holiday Inn. That's a good, strong, bona fide $28 a night for, you know, big king-size bed with animated wallpaper and a color television and everything. So I canceled out of that and went down to the place Motel 6, which is kind of the Geritol set. And, I mean, all old people laying out there getting sunspots all afternoon. And it was all right, though. You had to get a roll of quarters, you put them in the bed, and you get magic fingers. You know that thing? It's a little special machine for the bed, and it does like a whirly bird on the mattress. And that's if you're too lazy to get up. You just turn on the magic fingers, and it feels like you're walking. And so I stayed down at Motel 6 for a week. And this is a... I'm trying to think. I'll do this thing.
Never saw the morning till I stayed up all night. Never saw your sunshine until you turned out your love light, baby. Never saw my hometown until I stayed away too long. And I never heard the melody until I needed the song. Never saw the white line till I was leaving you behind. I never saw that you needed me till I caught up in a bind. I never spoke I love you until I cursed you in vain. And I never felt my heartstrings until I nearly went insane. The East Coast till I moved to the West. I never saw the moonlight till it shone off of your breast. I never saw your heart until someone tried to steal it away. I never saw your tears until they rolled down your face. I stayed up all night. I never saw your sunshine until you turned out your love light, baby. I never saw my hometown until I stayed away too long. And I never heard the melody until I needed the song. I've been tempted on bus rides. In fact, I take buses now and then, but I always find myself sitting next to somebody, and I'm so tempted to give them such a line of bullshit that they never heard. But I always end up sitting next to somebody who's doing the same thing on me. I used to get rolls of quarters and go down to the bus depot and sit in the TV chairs, which is a great place to take a date. And but every time there's more people that aren't going anywhere, have never been anywhere at the bus depot than anywhere in town. But once you do get on a regularly scheduled express route from one point to another, you figure you're never going to see these people again. So why not stretch out a little bit and use your imagination? Well, that's what this guy started doing with me. He told me he was president of Dick Revolver Buick, one of the largest Buick agencies in Southern California. And the only reason he was taking a bus was because his Maserati was in the garage. And he loaned his Mercedes out to his brother-in-law. And he's sitting there in he looked like the kind of guy that wouldn't be caught dead in nothing less than a $30 suit, and it was kind of a corduroy affair, kind of monkey shit brown. And he's sitting next to me and just setting me up as the biggest sucker he's ever seen in his life. And his name was Tom Sorensen. And I'll never forget it because we ran into each other. Well, anyhow, see, I started telling him stories. See. He says, well, what are you doing on the bus? And I said, well, I'm just going to Los Angeles, connect for Vegas. And I'm doing an unlimited 99-year contract at a measly $250,000 a week at Caesar's Palace. But, these hard times, we take what we can get. And he's buying every line because he's thinking of some good ones himself to throw back at me. And we sat there and just bull-sessioned each other all the way to Los Angeles. And, I didn't believe a word he said, and he didn't believe a word I said. But we figured he got off the bus, he said, well, I sure snookered that cat.
but I'll never see him again. But it was down at Horton Plaza in downtown San Diego, across the street from the Balboa Theater. And I swear, I was waiting for a local bus, and I bumped heads with this guy. And it was Tom Sorensen, and he's there. He said, "Oh, excuse me, could I get a quarter? I just need some bus change to get across town. I need a quarter." I said, "I haven't got a quarter. I'm looking for a quarter myself." And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and went, "Excuse me." And I said, "Tom Sorensen." Yeah. And he turned around. I turned around, and he got on the bus, and I started walking up the street. I never saw him again, but we did make contact. So those things have a way of coming back and slapping you upside the head. Well, this is about National City and about the ghost of Saturday night. Well, you know, a cab is combing the snake. It's trying to rake in that last night's fare. Solitary sailor who spends the facts of his life like small change on strangers. His pawn is inside peacoat pocket for a welcome 25 cents. And the last bent butt from a package of Kents as he dreams of a waitress with Maxwell House eyes, marmalade thighs, and scrambled yellow hair. And she draws heavily upon a viceroy and wipes the wisps of dishwater blonde from her eyes. Her rhinestone-studded moniker says Irene, and the Texaco beacon burns on. A steel-belted attendant with his ringing valve special. He's crying, "Fill her up and check that oil." You know, well, it could be your distributor and it could be your coil. You know, the early morning final editions on the stands. And that town crier's crying there with nickels in his hand. Talking about pigs in the blankets, 69 cents. Eggs roll him over in a package of Kents. Adam and Eve on a log, you can sink them damn straight. Hash browns, shit on a shingle, and I can't be late. Dawn will crack out a carpet of diamonds across some kind of a cash crop car lot filled with twilight Coupe de Villes. And it's leaving the town in the keeping of the one who is sweeping. Up the ghosts of Saturday night. I come clicking by your house about 2:45. Sidewalk, sun, strawberry surprise. I got a chair, popsicle, and I'm right on time. Big stick, mama, gonna blow your mind, 'cause I'm your ice cream man. One man band. Ice cream man, baby, I'm gonna be good to you.
See me in the alley, baby, don't you fret. Come back around and don't forget. Tired and you're hungry and you want something cool. Well, I got something better than a swimming pool, 'cause I'm an ice cream man. I'm your one-man band. Ice cream man, baby, I'm gonna be good to you. If you see me in the alley, you ain't got no change. Don't worry, baby, it could be arranged. Just show me you can smile. Just for me, you gotta fix you with a drumstick. I'm gonna do it for free, 'cause I'm an ice cream man. One-man band. I'm an ice cream man, baby, I'm gonna be good to you. Good to you, baby. Good to you. Good to you. So good to you. Good to you. Good to you. Good to you. Tight slack-clad girls on a graveyard shift, beating the cement stroll, catch the midnight drift, cigar-chewing Charlies in their newspaper nests, grifting hot horse tips on who's running the best. And I'm blinded by the neon, don't try and change my tune. I thought I heard a saxophone, I'm drunk on the moon. The moon's a silver slipper, it's pouring champagne stars. Broadway's like a serpent, pulling shiny top-down cars. Larimer's teeming with that undulated beat, as some Bonneville is screaming its way wildly down the street. And I'm blinded by the neon, I'm trying to change my tune. I thought I heard a saxophone, I'm drunk on the moon. Naugahyde.
what we've got here is someone who just forgot the words. Don't panic in the booth. He'll come up with it, we know. And as hearts flutter and race, the moon's on the wane. Hearts mutter their dream hopes the night will ordain. Come schemers and dancers and cherry delight. As a Cleveland-bound greyhound, it cuts through the night. And I harked all my yesterdays, don't try to change my tune. I thought I heard a saxophone, I'm drunk on the moon. I'm gonna close with a story. My Truckdriver. This is called The Ballad of Big Joe and Phantom 309. A story written by Red Solvine several years ago. And well, you see, it seems I was back on the East Coast a few years back, and I was just trying to make me a buck. You know, the times got hard, and Christ, I got down on my luck. And I got tired of just roaming and bumming around. So I started thumbing my way back to my whole hometown. You know, I made quite a few miles in the first couple of days, and Christ, I figured I'd be home in a week if my luck held out this way. But the third night, I got myself stranded. And it was a cold, lonely crossroads with the rain pouring down. And I was a hungry, tired, freezing, thirsty. I done caught a chill. But about that time, the lights of an old semi had to top the hill. And boy, you should have seen me smile when I heard them air brakes come on. And well, Christ, I climbed up into that cab where I knew it'd be warm, and at the wheel sat a big man. Christ, he must have weighed 210, and he stuck out a big hand, and he said with a grin, Big Joe's the name. And his here rig is called Phantom 309. Well, I asked him why I called his rig such a name. He just looked at me and said, why, son, this here rig will put them all to shame. Well, there ain't a driver on this or any other line, for that matter, that's seen nothing but the tail lights of Big Joe and Phantom 309. So we rode and we talked a better part of the night, and I told my stories, and Joe told his. Well, until the lights of a truck stop mysteriously rolled into sight. Joe turned to me and said, I'm sorry, son. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid this is just as far as you go. Because well, you see, I kind of got to be making a turn up just off the road piece, and I'll be damned if he didn't toss me a dime as he threw her in low. As he go in there and get yourself a hot cup of coffee on Big Joe. And I mean to tell you, when Joe and his rig pulled off into the night, and nothing flat that was clean out of sight. And I walked into the old stop, and I ordered me up a cup of mud, saying, Big Joe's setting this dude up. And then the guitar hit the wall. But it got so deathly quiet in that place, you could have heard a pin drop. The waiter's face turned kind of pale. I said, what's the matter? Did I say something wrong? I kind of said with a halfway grin. He said, no, son. He said, no, son, it'll happen every now and then. Well, you see, every driver in here knows Big Joe's son, but let me tell you what happened just 10 years ago out there at that cold, lonely crossroads where you flagged Joe down. Well, there was a whole busload of kids, and they were just coming from school, and they were right in the middle when Joe topped the hill. And they could have been slaughtered, except when Joe turned his wheels, and it jackknifed, and it went into a skid.
Now, folks around here say he gave his life to save that bunch of kids. And you know that out there at that cold, lonely crossroads was the end of the line for Big Joe and Phantom 309. But you know, it's funny because every now and then, when there's a kind of a full buttery moon and it's all melted off to one side, so old Joe will stop and give you a ride. So here, son, he said to me, go in there and get yourself another cup of coffee. It's all in the house. Only I want you to hang on to that dime, though. I want you to hang on to that dime and keep it as kind of a souvenir. Kind of a souvenir of Big Joe and Phantom 309. That's it.
Tom Waits, live from Lee Furr's studio this evening on KWFM. We'll be back in a moment right after these words. Okay, we're back, and Tom is going to do 4. Okay. All right, we're going to do some more numbers here. Seeing the enthusiasm is at a peak this evening. Once again, live from Lee Furr's studio, Tom Waits.
Well, is there anything anybody might want to hear? Want to hear that? All right. It's it was an old 1955 Buick Roadmaster. The first car I had. Well, first real luxury automobile I had. I had a lot of these little old tin Lizzies, and with this, I invested a good $125 in that car, and had a gold metal fleck top, and it ran like a damn sewing machine, and it was, you might say it was just about as slick as deer guts on a doorknob. And hotter than a fresh fire than a forest fire is. And this is called my old 55. Well, my time went so quick that I went lickety-splickety. I went out to my old 55 as I pulled away slowly, feeling so holy, God knows, it's feeling that how the sun is coming up. I'm riding with lady love, with the freeway cars and trucks, and the stars that are beginning to fade. As I lead the parade, now I'm just a wishing that I'd stayed a little longer now. No, Lord, let me tell you, the feeling getting stronger. At 6 in the morning, they gave me no warning, I had to be on my way. Now there's trucks all a-passing me, lights all a-flashing, and I'm on my way home from your place. Now the sun is coming up, now I'm riding with lady love, talking about them freeway cars and trucks, the stars that are beginning to fade. As I lead the parade, now I'm just a wishing that I'd stayed a little longer now. No, Lord, let me tell you, the feeling getting stronger.
I went lickety-splickety. I went out to my old 55. As I pulled away slow, I'm feeling so old that God knows I was feeling alive. Now the sun is coming up. Now I'm riding with lady love, talking about them freeway cars and trucks, with the freeway cars and trucks, with the freeway cars and trucks. Nobody will ever love you the way I could love you, 'cause nobody is that strong. You've had many lovers and you have many others. They'll only just break your poor heart in two. Nobody love you the way that I could, 'cause nobody's that strong, 'cause nobody's that strong. Nobody will ever love you the way I could love you, 'cause nobody's that strong. Love's bittersweet, life's treasures deep. No one can keep a love that's gone wrong. Nobody will love you the way that I could, 'cause nobody is that strong, 'cause nobody that is strong. Take a piss like you can't believe. Gosh, I think. Yeah, I do too. This one's Debo, what am I doing here? Debo, what am I doing here? I ain't coming, I ain't going, my confusion is showing. And outside the midnight wind is blowing on 6th Avenue. Tell me what's the boy to do at the depot. I watch the taxis pull up and idle. I can't claim title to a single memory. Offered me a key. Opportunity don't knock, 'cause she has no tongue, she cannot talk. You're gonna shuffle when you walk at the depot. This peeping Tom needs a peephole and an up-tempo song. Gotta move me along, get away from this depot. I'm on the road just like a pool ball, be there at the rock out at the depot. Outside the midnight wind off 6th Avenue, I wanna paint myself blue. The devil, and I'm rolling like a pool ball, either at the rock or at the depot. I'm on the road just like a pool ball, they're at the rock out of the depot. I'm on the road like a pool ball, be there at the rock out of the depot.
Thank you. Trying to think here. I've got a lot of them, and I'm just going to do one more. And, I want to thank you all for coming very much. It's really made it special for me, for you to be here. You know, the studio can be pretty desolate. It's more like a nightclub, and that's what I'm used to playing. It even looks kind of chintzy in here. I mean, I thought this was a coat and tie affair. Y'all look seriously raggedy out there, man. I swear. I'll do this.
The evening fell just like a star, left a trail behind. You spit as you slammed out the door. This is love, we're crazy, fight like cats and dogs. I just know there's got to be more. So please call me, baby, wherever you are. 'Cause it's too cold to be out walking in the streets. Crazy things when we're wounded, everyone's a bit insane. But I don't want you catching your death of cold, walking in the rain. Always at each other's throats and it drives me up the wall. Most of the time just blowing off steam. Wish I got you to leave me, and I wish I got you to stay. But life's so different than it is in your dreams. So please call me, baby, wherever you are. It's too cold to be out walking in the streets. Do crazy things when we're wounded. Everyone's a bit insane. I don't want you catching your death of cold, walking in the rain. And I admit that I ain't no angel. Admit that I ain't no saint. Selfish and I'm cruel, but you're blind. I wish I exercise my devils, but my angels will leave too. And when they leave, they're so hard to find. So please call me, baby, wherever you are. It's too cold to be out walking in the streets. Crazy things when we're wounded. Everyone's a bit insane. I don't want you catching your death of cold out walking in the rain. Thank you.
Tom Waits, live from Furr Studio in Tucson. We'll be back in a moment to say goodbye right after these words.
Barreling down the boulevard, looking for the heart of Saturday night.
Tom Waits has found the heart of Saturday night.
You wear a dress, baby, I wear a tie. We'll laugh at that old bloodshot moon in that burgundy sky. Never saw the morning till I stayed up all night.
Heart of Saturday Night, new from Tom Waits on Asylum Records, is available right now at Hot Rocks.
Well, these diamonds on my windshield and these tears from heaven. Well, I'm pulling into town on the interstate. I got a steel train in the rain, and the wind bites my cheek through the wing. And it's these late nights and this freeway flying that always makes me sing.
Heart of Saturday Night is only $3.99, as are all 698 list albums, every day at Hot Rocks. Hot Rocks Records and Tapes, 545 North 4th Avenue.
Okay, once again, our thanks to the staff and Furr Studio this evening for making this all possible. Asylum Records, and especially Mr. Tom Waits. Yeah. We'll be back again in the near future with another live concert from Furr Studio. Thank you, everybody, for coming down here. Good night. Now back to Jay McEwen.